Hi everybody, I'm your host Shanice Hemphill with The Road to Inspire, where I am inspiring you to get outside of your comfort zone and live a life of adventure and wonder. Well, my last stop was Cuenca, Ecuador. And what I did not get an opportunity to share with you is while in Cuenca, Ecuador, I had some medical issues which I had looked at. I was able to go to the dentist. I went to the doctor. I had some imaging done, so an ultrasound, and I also had some blood work done. So I want to go through the cost of some of those, and I also want to share with you too the communication with doctors in Cuenca, Ecuador, as opposed to those in the U.S. While in the U.S., I was not able to get a doctor's appointment until the appointments were booked out at least 2 months for me to see my doctor. No matter how serious the issue may be, it took at least 2 months for me to schedule an appointment to see my doctor. Other than that, I would have to go to urgent care or the emergency room. That was the only option. And when I did call my doctor, to speak with her about anything. Now, the closest that I could get was probably the nurse. The nurse will be able to answer any questions and basically be the go-between between me asking the question and her giving that question to the doctor if she didn't have an answer already. So the difference between that in Ecuador, because I not only had visited the doctor in Cuenca, Ecuador, but also in Manta. And the difference is this: I was able to communicate. I hadn't even had an appointment yet. I was not a patient of a particular doctor. I messaged these doctors and I asked them what was the soonest that I would be able to see them, and this was my particular issue that I had questions about. Now, immediately within a couple hours, sometimes even within an hour, those doctors were able to respond to me via WhatsApp, letting me know that they can get me in basically the next day, and they were able to answer any questions that I had ongoing. That's something that does not happen in the United States. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't know where you're from, but it was, it has been extremely difficult just to get a doctor, get into a doctor's visit. And even especially if you're a new patient and you don't have a doctor yet, or you may be looking for a new doctor in the US, that's not always the easiest, especially if you're looking for somebody who fits your particular needs, what you want. You want to make sure that doctor is qualified to perform the services that you're needing. That's something that may take some time. But back to my Ecuador experience with getting healthcare. So I was able to get blood work done. Let me give you the blood work costs. So the blood work cost $32.81. The ultrasound cost $40. The doctor's visit costed $40. So in the United States, that would not be the cost of the visit. It would be hundreds of dollars at this point. And that was my experience in Ecuador. Simple as that. This amounted to $112 approximately. So even after receiving care from a doctor, I still have follow-up questions. At one point, she just called and asked me instead of messaging me, and went through everything very thoroughly with me. So I find that there's another level of care where the doctors really care. They're concerned about giving you proper treatment, and that hasn't been my experience in the US at all. So another thing that I had done, actually I went to see another doctor because I took some time in Cuenca and then I spent some time in Manta. Now, Manta, my experience there is a whole nother story, but we're gonna stay on the topic of me getting healthcare, okay, in this particular video. So me receiving healthcare in Manta. So I was able to book an appointment with a OBGYN That appointment was $50, and that was pretty much it. She answered my questions, answered my concerns, and that was it. $50. I was able to communicate with her via WhatsApp. I was able to ask her questions. I was able to ask her follow-up questions. And this was even before I became a patient, and she was able to get me in the next day. Again, that does not happen in the US. I do not know why. Another thing that I was able to have, and I noticed that this particular thing, which is dental care, I just needed a dental cleaning. I was able to get my teeth cleaned for $37.80. And yes, the same level of care, as far as quality, as far as cleanliness, that is taken in the US is also taken in Ecuador. I would say this though, not always the case. I followed up with questions with a lot of things, but that's just how I am at the doctor. I want to make sure, okay, is this surface cleaned? Has it been cleaned? Has anyone else sat on this? And I communicated with all of these doctors via Google Translate, because a lot of times they did not speak English. They were only Spanish speaking. And they were okay with that. They were patient with that. They never at any point seemed frustrated or intolerant of me lacking the ability to speak the language there, which was Spanish. So nonetheless, I also seen a dermatologist in Manta, Ecuador, and a dermatologist that costed me $40, and I had 4 moles removed. Yes, I have 4 moles removed, or skin tags as some people will call them, but nonetheless it was $40. Now I thought when I originally got there, because I called a taxi to pick me up, take me there, and I asked, that taxi wait, and he did. That taxi, let's see, that costed me $4 for him to wait for me. I thought I was going in to get a consultation. She said, okay. She checked them, made sure, it wasn't anything cancerous, which I wasn't concerned about. I knew that it wasn't. She lasered the moles off, and 5 minutes later, I'm out the door. $40. So that was my experience with receiving healthcare. Again, I went to a primary care doctor. I went to the dentist to get my teeth cleaned. I went to an OBGYN. I had all of those things done in Ecuador, which I was not able to get done in the US. Even something as simple as getting your teeth cleaned was difficult for me getting that done in the United States of America, or at least in my city, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where it seems like there's almost a drought of available dentists. So that's my story. I would like to encourage anybody who is interested or even considering traveling abroad. One of the things that you can do, I connected to other people that were already in Ecuador. I connected to other groups that were in Ecuador, of people who were either digital nomads there, or who had relocated there, or some people who would just be visiting there. I connected with those groups, and they were able to give me referrals to particular doctors. Some of the referrals I even got through, my Airbnb host, who was also able to refer me to doctors. So I want to encourage anybody and everybody who's looking to go to another country but has some fear or some reserves about seeing doctors or any of those things. There's nothing to be afraid of. By all means, too, get involved in a group a group that is in a place where you desire to be, or that you are interested in going. You can also do your research as well. Look it up and find out. Take the information you get with a grain of salt. I paid cash for everything. I think that one of the things that I wouldn't have been able to do is pay cash out of pocket and just be done with a particular medical bill in the US. No, I would have had to pay the copay first, which is about $3,000 for not copay, but your, I forgot what you call it, when you have medical insurance, you pay for the whole year. You would have to pay up to, you know, 3,000 or 5,000 or whatever it is for you. And then you would have to pay that. You would have to pay that first before you experience the benefits of your medical bill being fully paid for. So I encourage you, don't be afraid, do your research. There are places that I wouldn't even consider seeing a doctor in, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about my health care experience while in Ecuador. So I hope this has been valuable to you. If you have not subscribed to my channel, you should. I am bringing you the best of the best information that I can as I travel the world, as I meet with different people. And I do have some more videos coming up of experiences that I want to share with you regarding Ecuador and my experience. Take care.